one simple question. Are we right now on stolen land?
I have no idea the history of this land, where we're sitting today.
Nor do I, Senator.
So that speaks volumes that neither of you are willing to say, hell no, we're not on stolen land. And I will say at the Grammys, when you see an entertainer say, nobody is illegal while we're on stolen land, and then you see entertainers leap to their feet clapping so excitedly at the notion that America is fundamentally illegitimate, it starts to convey that the entertainment world is deeply corrupt. And I will point out that same singer who says no one is illegal on stolen land promptly went back to her $14 million mansion, and somehow that stolen land she wasn't concerned about, just the United States of America. Look, Netflix has long been a left-wing company.
Senator Ted Cruz absolutely destroys Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos and Warner Bros. Discovery executive in this explosive Senate hearing about media bias, the stolen land question, and Hollywood's alleged political propaganda machine. Watch as Cruz systematically dismantles their claims of political neutrality by forcing them to answer one devastating question: are we right now on stolen land? Their inability to give a straight answer reveals everything about Hollywood's ideological uniformity and anti-American sentiment, according to Cruz. The senator doesn't stop there. He exposes Netflix's deep ties to the Democratic Party, including the $50 million Obama deal, Susan Rice on the board, and founder Reed Hastings's massive political donations. Cruz then challenges executives to name even one conservative-leaning show on their platforms and gets complete silence. This isn't just about an $83 billion merger. It's about who controls America's stories, and whether the entertainment industry represents all Americans or just coastal elites. Let's dive into the main video.
All right. This is an $83 billion merger. It's a big deal. Entertainment matters, content matters. Mr. Sarandos, how many subscribers does Netflix have in the United States?
Around 86,000, 86 million, sorry.
And if the merger goes...
Senator Cruz, it's we reported by North America, so it includes Canada.
So if the merger went through, how many subscribers would you anticipate having?
What's the growth of HBO Max? What's your last number?
Yeah, well, we don't publicly disclose our HBO number, but the HBO subscribers in the U.S. are roughly 50 million. But remember, 80% of those subscribers already subscribe to Netflix, so there's significant overlap there.
So if you're at 90 million now with Netflix, by any measure, you'd be north of 100 million, depending on the overlap. Is that fair to say?
Depending on the overlap and the retention, yes.
It's a matter of basic economics. Does more market power typically lead to higher prices or lower prices?
Across which industry, sir?
Across any industry.
Yeah. I think more market power gives you the ability, but if you're not delivering the value, you can never cash in on it.
You have a gentleman sitting behind you in the monopoly outfit. In your view, are monopolies a good thing in America?
No, sir, they're not.
Should the American people be concerned about a monopoly in entertainment and streaming?
Just to be clear, while monopolies are not good, we are nowhere near dominant, let alone a monopoly. We have 9% market share that will grow to 10. If you wanted to contort yourself...
Well, but that's defining the market the way you want, and obviously in antitrust assessment, the market definition is critical. In the streaming market, paid subscription streaming, what % do you have of the market? For us, that would be kind of a fantasy construct. Okay, so you don't want to answer that.
No, I'm just saying if you take YouTube out of the picture, which is the one that that people think is controversial, we'd be about 18% plus 3% of about 21%.
So another aspect of this merger that I think is raising significant concerns, which is an ideological aspect. Would you agree there's a difference between entertainment and propaganda?
Yes, sir.
I and many others on this committee have been concerned for a long time about censorship in the media, and censorship in Hollywood. There already seems to be only one acceptable political view. Actually, I want to ask, did either of y'all watch the Grammys this week?
I did not.
Just the tail end of it.
One simple question. Are we right now on stolen land?
I have no idea the history of this land, where we're sitting today.
Nor do I, Senator.
So that speaks volumes that neither of you are willing to say, hell no, we're not on stolen land. And I will say at the Grammys, when you see an entertainer say, nobody is illegal while we're on stolen land, and then you see entertainers leap to their feet clapping so excitedly at the notion that America is fundamentally illegitimate, it starts to convey that the entertainment world is deeply corrupt. And I will point out that same singer who says no one is illegal on stolen land promptly went back to her $14 million mansion, and somehow that stolen land she wasn't concerned about, just the United States of America. Look, Netflix has long been a left-wing company. Your founder, Reed Hastings, is one of the biggest Democrat donors in the country, including giving millions recently to the massive gerrymander in California, making it one of the most gerrymandered states in the union, because your founder desperately wants a Democrat House of Representatives. Susan Rice from the Obama White House is on your board of directors. You guys gave $50 million to the Obamas, as far as I can tell, to produce no discernible content whatsoever. How would you tell a Texan sitting at home to feel comfortable? CNN is already a dumpster fire. There's nothing resembling objectivity. There's nothing resembling journalism anymore. How are people at home, how should they feel even remotely confident that if this merger happens, the combined entity would not simply be a propaganda outlet pushing one particular political view with much greater market power than you have now?
Well, sir, we would fail. We would fail pushing a political view or propaganda. We deliver entertainment to consumers. Our consumers see our business pretty much the way they see America. About 40% conservative, about 40% liberal, about 20% don't know. And but when they turn on TV, they're tuned in to be entertained. And if we fail to entertain them by trying to promote propaganda or anything other than entertainment, we fail.
Mr. Campbell, same question to you.
We see the world very similar. We have a very broad range of content across not only HBO Max, but all of our platforms that we need to appeal to all audiences. Our content ranges from Hard Knocks from the NFL to shows like Deadliest Catch and Gold Rush. It's a very broad collection of programming that represents broad interests across America.
You have a wide range of programming on HBO. Name one program that is designed to appeal to conservatives.
We don't design our programming to appeal to
I can think of a lot that are designed to go to liberals. Name one.
None of our shows are designed to go to any political group. They're designed to appeal to...
Really, John Oliver's not designed to appeal to a certain group?
It's a program that... for which there's...
You just said none of your program is... Look, let me ask you, do you think CNN is fair and balanced?
I do believe CNN is a fair...
So when CNN showed riots and fires behind them, and you put a chyron, mostly peaceful but fiery protest, was that journalism?
Sir, I'm not involved with CNN, and in fact, they're not part of this transaction, but they have an independent editorial board, they have independent news gathering. We don't direct...
They have no independence other than hating Donald Trump, which is why their viewership numbers have plummeted, because they don't actually report news. They instead engage in very biased propaganda. And I will say, the truest words you said a minute ago is when you said with respect to Mr. Sarandos, well, he and I see the world in very much the same way. That is exactly the problem, that in the world of journalism, it should not be propaganda. In the world of entertainment, there is a reason why entertainers who are even slightly right of center get blackballed in Hollywood, writers get blackballed in Hollywood, actors get blackballed in Hollywood. And I've heard nothing today to give me any confidence that this merger would do anything other than make that problem much, much worse. Thank you.
Senator Ted Cruz delivered an absolutely devastating masterclass in exposing the entertainment industry's ideological stranglehold on American culture. His interrogation wasn't just effective, it was surgical in its precision and brutal in its honesty. Cruz understood what many politicians are too afraid to say. Hollywood has become a left-wing propaganda machine that actively discriminates against conservative voices while pretending to champion diversity and inclusion. The brilliance of Cruz's approach was in making the executives convict themselves with their own words. When neither Sarandos nor Perret could simply say no to whether they were sitting on stolen land, they revealed the industry's moral cowardice. These are men who run companies worth billions, yet they couldn't defend the legitimacy of the very country that made their success possible. That hesitation spoke louder than any prepared testimony ever could. Cruz's cataloging of Netflix's political activities was devastating because it was factual and irrefutable. $50 million to the Obamas for essentially nothing. Susan Rice on the board. Reed Hastings is pouring millions into Democratic causes. These aren't conspiracy theories, they're documented facts that the executives couldn't deny. When Cruz challenged them to name even one conservative-oriented program, the silence was deafening and damning. The senator's critique of CNN was particularly powerful. Calling out the mostly peaceful but fiery protest Chiron while buildings burned wasn't just memorable rhetoric, it was exposing journalistic malpractice that millions of Americans witnessed firsthand. When Perret claimed CNN was fair and balanced, Cruz didn't just disagree, he provided concrete evidence of bias that made the executive's defense look absurd. Cruz also gave voice to countless conservative entertainers, writers, and actors who've been blackballed simply for their political views. In an industry that claims to celebrate diversity, there's zero tolerance for ideological diversity. Cruz named this hypocrisy directly and forced these powerful executives to confront it on the record. His final assessment was perfectly calibrated. Nothing in the hearing gave him confidence that this merger would do anything other than concentrate more power in the hands of people who see the world through a single narrow political lens. That's not speculation. That's a logical conclusion based on the evidence Cruz methodically presented. The senator proved that when corporate media consolidates, ideological uniformity follows, and that's dangerous for democracy, regardless of which side you're on.